Do you know that? So the only Christmas ornaments I had on my Christmas tree before I was married, before when I was back a single dude and could do what I wanted, with my Christmas tree, was Ninja Turtles. I had like the actual figurines that you hang in there.
Yeah.
Emma won't let them be visible on the tree. So now every year I hide them inside the tree somewhere.
They can't.
It's honestly one of my most looked forward to Christmas traditions that I'm building.
That was wonderful.
Because I can't wait for when each year I get to let one of the kids do it.
Yeah.
They have to try and find it, which it's not that hard to find it.
Exactly. Still. Yeah, but still, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Turtles
anyway.
on a hard shell.
Turtle power. Yeah, I know it. Oh, man.
I just want to start off by saying I'm wearing my Tevas. Or not my Tevas, my Choco Slides, despite my wife's hatred.
It's going to be Emma's favorite episode.
Could be. Okay, so before you drink it, this is moonshine.
I've never had moonshine.
It's like apple.
Well, I don't like the way you're acting right now.
This is older than COVID.
So COVID's like a couple of years old.
So we got this when we were down in Gatlinburg, literally like 2 weeks before everything shut down.
Oh, really?
And it's just been sitting in my fridge.
You haven't
I was
tried
cleaning my fridge. No, I've had it.
Oh, okay.
I have a little bit left, but I was cleaning my fridge out, so I was like, yeah, let's try it. So, cheers.
Cheers.
I'd say it still pretty good.
So, like smooth.
Yeah.
It's almost like a syrup.
Yeah. It's like their caramel. I think it's their caramel apple.
That's amazing.
So it's like it tastes like one of those suckers,
Yeah. No, that is good.
Yeah.
Mm.
You got to adjust your mic though. Come on, bro.
You've told me enough. I should know by now.
Also, so no question tonight. I've got a beef with you.
Oh man. You want to finish our moonshine? No, I'm joking.
So last episode, you said that you didn't want to have any more kids, and that whole, and then literally the next day, 2 days later, my wife goes, "So Josiah wants another kid." I'm like, no, he doesn't. He literally said on the podcast he does not want one, and then she goes, "Yeah, he told Sarah that he wants one."
Bro, word spell. That is so. How did Emma find out?
Because girls talk.
Dude, I can't. Okay, this all goes back to Steven. Steven, this is your fault. I know it to be true. So, oh, man. Okay, so it all started when Steven and Ryan had their babies at church. And it crossed my mind.
Okay.
It crossed my mind. And I told Steven it crossed my mind. And immediately he told Audrey. And the funny thing is,
it's not just girls who talk, apparently.
No, because Audrey never told Sarah. I actually.
Oh.
Yes. I told Sarah, maybe I'm not done. But that's it. That's it.
See, as soon as you say that, though, it's a foregone thing. It is happening. You will have another kid now.
Yeah.
And you lied to everyone last week. So
I
you
apologize.
need to apologize.
I am sorry. It's
sorry that he wants another kid.
I'm sorry. I want another kid. It's one of those things, where it's just like, man, like my life could be a lot more relaxing now if we were just done with kids. Yeah. But I feel like sometimes I try to convince myself I'm done, but maybe I'm not.
You're keeping up with the Murrays.
Keeping up with the Murrays. It's the next reality. That's actually a good television show. Keeping up with the Murrays.
What was that actually based off of? Keeping up with the
Kardashians.
Oh,
yeah. Come on, bro.
Dude, I never.
You haven't been kept up.
Never cared.
Never watched a single episode. But yeah. So needless to say, I'm not saying we are. I'm not saying we're not. Sarah might be pregnant right now. She's not pregnant right now. As far as I know. But you never know.
All right, so come back next week, and he will tell us that he lied and that she is pregnant.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry, Zach.
Okay. You just made me look like a fool in front of my wife, but what else is new? Let's be real.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
So tonight, the topic is how do we balance work and fatherhood, family life, all that stuff. Also, I'm realizing right now that you have a Sonic tattoo.
Yeah. So I've had a tattoo, and actually it's pretty incognito. So my nephew,
incognito or the Sonic?
The Sonic.
Yeah, I was about to say your tattoo is not
Yeah.
incognito.
Because it was my nephew's birthday, and he had a Sonic birthday, and I asked him, and he had tattoos, and he's like, I asked him, where do you want it? And he's like, relaxing under the tree. So
that's pretty cool.
Kind of a cool little spot.
Yeah.
It's washing off though.
Okay. You should just get it fully tattooed on there.
Yeah, Sarah would be very upset. I've got a turtle tattooed on my ribcage, and I've told Sarah many times I'm gonna get a little mask.
See it. See it.
I'm not gonna
Let us see it.
No, I'm not gonna let you
see it.
No, we're gonna do that. But I've been threatening to put like a little mask on it and put little like forks in its hands. You wouldn't do that. I'm like, I love Ninja Turtles. I might do it. Colin's
I thought you meant like COVID mask.
like a Ninja Turtle, like a Ninja Turtle mask.
Do you know that? So the only Christmas ornaments I had on my Christmas tree before I was married, before when I was back a single dude and could do what I wanted, with my Christmas tree, was Ninja Turtles. I had like the actual figurines that you hang in there.
Yeah.
Emma won't let them be visible on the tree. So now every year I hide them inside the tree somewhere.
They can't.
It's honestly one of my most looked forward to Christmas traditions that I'm building.
That is wonderful.
Because I can't wait for when each year I get to let one of the kids do it.
Yeah.
They'd have to try and find it, which it's not that hard to find it.
Exactly. Still. Yeah, but still, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Turtles
anyway.
in a hard shell.
Turtle power. Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
So back to tonight's topic. We're talking about balancing work and family life, which I think honestly would be really cool because we both have very different jobs.
Yeah.
Career-wise, schedule-wise, all that sort of stuff. So, I don't know. Let's just start with let's share what our jobs are. I think everyone probably, if you've watched, you probably know what our family life looks like at this point. Josiah's got 3 kids. I've got 1 kid plus a dog. That's not a kid, but
Blair's a child.
Anyways, so tell us about your work life.
Yeah, so I manage a plant, a stone veneer plant. So basically, we manufacture the stone that you'll see around the nicer houses. And my job over the last, I've only been working there for about 5 months now, 4 or 5 months.
And you were a manager at another.
I helped run operations at Sweetwater. Yeah. So that was a distribution center. So night and day difference. I didn't know how much of a difference it would be. Distribution and manufacturing are 2 totally different worlds. But that's what I do there at Castle Hill. So basically, I was brought in just to help the operation get to where it needs to be. Yeah. It's getting exciting. It's very, very busy. So we actually have a first Starbucks order. So Starbucks is buying our stuff.
Oh,
now.
Really?
Yeah. So
I was like,
no,
you guys like coming together and putting in a Starbucks order, and you're going to go pick it up or something.
We're actually getting a Starbucks at Castle. No, I'm just joking. But that's so that's what I do Monday through Friday. It's pretty tedious. Like right after this podcast, I got to go home and finish payroll. And that's honestly how a lot of it goes. And I've always been probably on the little bit too heavy of a side when it comes to occupation.
Yeah.
A lot better than it used to be.
Yeah.
I could assure you that. And it's something that Sarah and I are definitely working through. Thankfully, we're in the best place ever when it comes to my job.
Yeah.
Because it used to be terrible. I would just spend night and day just working.
Yeah. That's honestly how this podcast started.
Yeah.
You were like, I don't want to go back to work. It was after Quinn was born. You're like, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to go back to work. Can we start a podcast? I was like, yes, we can, but dude, it's not going to make any money.
Exactly. I was ready to quit it all. Just do a podcast. But
if you all share this right now, like maybe we can make enough money that where Josiah doesn't have to go to work anymore.
Please. Much to Steven's dismay.
Yeah. Suck it, Steven.
We'll just hire Steven. There we go. But no, that's what I do on a regular basis. Then obviously part-time at the church as worship leader, the music guy. But it is what it is.
The guitar guy. So what are your like responsibilities at the plant? Like,
Yeah. Very, very heavy right now, so I'm really excited. We're getting another.
because of stone.
What'd you say?
Heavy because of stone.
Okay.
Dad joke.
I'll give you that one. Okay. So my responsibilities include everything right now. So we're looking into getting some help. So I handle making sure equipment's running appropriately, setting up deals or setting up orders with vendors or customers, ordering supplies, hiring, firing. Man, what else?
That's the only thing I've ever heard you talk about with your job is the firing process.
Dude, because it's the most I don't want to say enjoyable, but it's not enjoyable to fire somebody. It's
funny
because the stories, like I've had my life threatened before. Let's just say that.
Without naming names or having someone come after you, what's the best firing story?
I've had some sob stories where I had to refrain from laughing on the spot. I had a guy threaten to beat me up and then leave, and then me fire him the next day and have no idea as to why I was firing him.
Okay.
He was legitimately like, I don't understand why you're firing me, man. I'm one of the hardest workers here. I'm like, bro, you threatened to beat me up. And you left the company, like you left property. Like, what do you expect me to do? He's like, I just kind of hoped you would, understand. No, I don't care, bro. You're an idiot. So those kind of things. But it's not fun to fire people because I understand, like, it's stressful. Yeah. But like, hey, if you're not gonna make an effort, see ya. Yeah. Bye bye.
And let's be. Actually, no, we're not. I'm not gonna say that.
Ask me afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough. It's a strenuous job, especially trying to include the spiritual aspect into it, because you have to be able to run a business, but you gotta also love people like Jesus loves people, and you've really got to be able to embrace the notion of, hey, if they don't want it, you aren't able to give it.
Right.
I can give as much as I can.
Feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's it's tough, but it's the way it is.
Yeah.
The way the world works. So
you have a very like typical 9 to 5 sort of job, though I don't think your hours are 9 to 5.
No,
But you go into a plant, you're not working from home. Like very structured. Yeah, I would say
exactly.
Mine's completely different. Whereas so I work just like you. I work part time at the church. How many hours are you at the church?
Oh, I have no idea. 4, I think.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's that little.
I don't think so either.
I think I'm 16.
I want to say either 4 or 6, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's something.
It's measuring on how much they appreciate me.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah,
I was joking.
So I'm at the church doing children's ministry, which I go into the office 1 day a week. And then Sundays, and then I do some stuff on Wednesdays afternoons. But that is the most structured element of my work, because it's same and it's a routine. The rest of my work is completely unstructured. In its peak. So I'm a videographer. If you don't know, photographer, have my own videography company, but at its peak of busyness, we've got, photo shoots that we're doing or video shoots and sitting down here in the office editing, stuff like that. But it doesn't have to be a 9 to 5. So because of that, I'm actually able to work from home with Amelia 3 days a week, which doesn't actually always mean I'm working from home.
Uh-huh.
But whereas yours is a 9 to 5, mine, I have to find the time within my day anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
how do you balance work life?
So it's gotten a lot better. In fact, I've even admitted in the past, it used to be really bad because I thought in my mind that my duty was to work as hard as I possibly can so I could provide my kids with a perfect life. And, I still want a wonderful life for them, and that is my goal. But the reality of it is they need me more then they need me out at work.
Right. Then they need money or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it really, it's great because I left Sweetwater. Sweetwater is a great company, and I felt like my mentality was like, I have got to prove to them that I could handle anything they give me. So I put the work in, and I realized real soon, like, man, my relationship with my sons aren't great right now. My relationship with Sarah was not great, just because like my focus was work, and being the best that I could be at work. So I left Sweetwater, started at Castle Hill, and the work and it's crazy because it's really all about perspective, right? Because like the work, honestly, it has gotten, I would say, more difficult. At Castle Hill, but my mentality and the way I perceive things is completely different because there's a higher priority. And the reason that I work on a daily basis, I know that I could get some additional things done if I worked extra, but the reality of it is my job doesn't really start until I get home to my boys and my daughter, and building that relationship with them and being the father that I need to be for them. And as a father, and I know you think the same thing. We want to be able to set the good example of what a hard worker looks like, and I'm going to set that example, and I'm going to instill that into my boys. That is so important, to be able to work hard, and make a living. But the reality of it is, we need to be able to balance that out effectively. For not only the people around us that mean the most to us, but mentally, like ourselves as well. Like I've told Steven, like, hey, I need to take a few days just to be able to recuperate and spend some additional time with my family. And those moments are really important to the kids. That's pretty much it. And I think the big thing is, and this is something that we have not done until I would say probably this year, is really instilling habitual patterns into our home life. Like every morning, I spend some time with the kids. I used to not spend any morning with the kids.
Gone before they were gone.
Exactly, yeah. And so, but now I wake up, we have breakfast, and we spend some time in prayer every single morning. And it's been that way for like a few months now. And it's a great way to start the morning. I always pray for good attitudes and listening ears. And most of the time, Sarah calls me throughout the week. She's like, your prayers aren't working. Sorry, I'm in defiance. I can't take care of when I get home
in 45 minutes.
Exactly. But then, being available if Colin wants to FaceTime me. Sometimes the kids will FaceTime me throughout the day. I'll come home. We have habitual patterns then as well. So that on a day-to-day basis, making sure that we're not stepping outside of that and into the realm of like, I'm going to do everything I need to do to make sure this company is successful, which, yes, I want to do, but the reality is, where is my priority at?
Yeah, that's a good thing to think of. I think for me, that's a little bit more of a struggle, like, because I think like, so we're in a season right now with our business where like things are really not great. Like we had a really awesome year last year, but then like as soon as 2023 like started, like business just dropped. And I don't know if that's like people aren't, having video work done as much with the economy or what, or maybe I just suck. Like whatever.
You don't suck. Have you seen these podcasts, bro? My goodness.
Anyways, so I think for me, like, it's been a lot harder this year to like separate that struggle and like that perspective, like to keep my perspective on the family, because I'm always like, man, if I'm not doing something, like if I'm not, pushing, trying to find new clients, like if I'm not doing this, that, or the other, like there's no one else to do it. Like it falls on me, to do that. And so that's been like, been a bit of a struggle with it, like trying to keep the right perspective.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just like how my mentality is, or if that's because like I'm doing this solo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I can understand that.
yeah.
And I think, and I know, and I can understand that to an extent. I think that one thing that really kind of I had to open my eyes to was really kind of forcing myself into a daily schedule, like what I was saying, habitual patterns, like getting up at a certain time, doing this at a certain time, and instilling that into our kids as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think that's a big like key component to it. Whether it is something like where you have a job like mine where you're working from home, or a job like yours where you're gone all day, I think that pattern is super helpful. Like for us, that looks like, I mean, it changes daily, right? But like Mondays, for example, I've got babysitters who come over to the house and they hang out with Amelia in the morning while I'm working. And then they leave when she goes down for a nap. And then as soon as she wakes up from her nap, like my work's done. Because I just can't do work when she's awake. Like it's impossible. And so then it's just like, we have this time from 3 to 5 or 5:30, whenever Emma gets home. That's just me and her.
Yeah.
And that's been super nice, to be able to focus on her. And then like, if at that point, like if after, Emma gets home and we put Mia to bed and everything, like, if I still have like stuff that I have to get done, then like I'll wait until Emma's gone to sleep and I'll like sneak down here and work. But like that's been the big thing that's kind of been helpful, has been to have that pattern. And like even in that, like there's other things that like we try to do too. Like I think when I first started doing this, like working from home, it was like I was trying to work at the same time like that Amelia was awake. So like I would bring her down here and just try to let her play while I was working, and it didn't ever work. I didn't get work done. I didn't feel like I was focusing on her enough. And then like I realized that I just needed to like create clear separation between the two in that way. And so like if she's awake, then I'm not working unless I've got babysitters here. And then the other thing, like we've tried to do every day that I am working from home with her, is go out and do something like when she is awake. So like, because in that sense, like that was super, like it was so hard for me to step away from the computer. Like when she was awake, I was just like, oh, she's fine, I can do this. So like getting out of the house, like it meant like I'm not taking my computer with me, you know, and it really allowed me to focus on her. And now it's just become a habit. Yeah. But I think like at this point right now, like in this season, like even with that, it's so hard to like separate my mind from like thinking about work, right? When sometimes it's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah. Like we went to the zoo today and I was thinking about like different videos that I could make for the zoo. Like I was like, oh, I wonder if I could get the zoo as a client, right? And like that's not a bad thing to be thinking of.
Oh, for
but
sure.
But at the same time, I'm also like, when was the last time I was like, you know, talking to Mia, like, hey, do you see the giraffe? Like for like 5 minutes solid, we're just walking, I'm pushing her stroller and I'm thinking about this, right? And so I think that's like one of the big struggles for me, is like to like, because my job is so flexible. There is that like, it's hard to sometimes separate, right? Because it's just so wishy-washy, whatever. The other side of that is it's really nice because it's like, oh, Friday, like, yeah, let's go up to Michigan and see Emma's parents. And I don't have to ask off from anyone. Right? Like I can kind of determine my own schedule. So
no, absolutely. And I think it's really important what you said there. Like, and this is a thought that I have, because, you know, my dad was a very, 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 very hard worker. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest memories that I have about my dad, and especially my grandpa as well, is the effort they put into their work. Their work ethic was incredible. And that's something that I think is also very, very important to instill into our kids as well. That idea of working hard to get what you want. And so I don't want to sit here and dog people that, you know, do work maybe harder than harder than I do or you do,
Right.
because the reality of it is they're in a different place than I'm at.
Right.
They're in a different place than where I'm at with my wife and my kids. And in fact, good for you for, wanting that, and being in a place where you feel like you can do that. Because, when my boys see me, I want them to know that, dad is a hard worker.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to mirror that when I grow up. And so I was actually Sarah and I are dealing with a little bit of that with Colin. So in my opinion, and I'm not being biased here, but Colin, I feel like, is a natural baseball player.
Yeah,
He's very, very good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like there's a little bit of sense of pride in there. Like I see him out there, and he's
the future Albert Pujols.
I mean, his throws are on par for a 5-year-old. I'm like, goodness, kid, you got an arm. But like he's a little lackadaisical sometimes when he's like up to bat, he's dragging his bat, and like I don't want to be hard on him in an incorrect manner, but I want to instill in him, look, work hard, practice hard, be the best that you can be so that you can do whatever you want to do when you grow up. Don't act like this. This is not appropriate.
Right.
And that work ethic, that idea of try your best and practice on getting better, is so important for kids.
Yeah.
And there's a correct way to handle it. There's a holy way to handle it. There's a scriptural way to handle it. And I think it's so important to instill that into your kids, especially at an early age when, chores start coming into play. Oh my gosh, man, it is bad right now. It is so bad. I think I got home and Sarah said they've been cleaning the toy room for 45 minutes, and I go in and they're just laying on the floor like Noah's eating goldfish, and I'm like, I got this handled. We'll do this.
Clean up.
No switch for a week. You guys will hurry up.
Mia does the Barney cleanup song.
Does it work?
No.
Oh, okay.
She does it when I'm cleaning up for her. So, okay.
She's your cheerleader.
Dude,
you're doing great, Dad.
So we've got like 3.5 minutes left. So quickly, what would you say is the thing that you look forward to most about like how you integrate work and life and work and family life?
What am I looking forward to most?
Yeah. Or like, what's your favorite thing about it? Like, what's the thing that you're like, yeah, like I'll go first. I'll give you my example.
Yeah.
So for me, like with the business, like I look forward to the days that I get to bring Mia with me on shoots.
That is great, yeah.
Like I've taken her to meetings with clients, and clients love it. Honestly, like we went and saw one of my favorite clients this past week just to check in and talk with her and everything. And we roll up with me. I roll up with Mia in her little car, and like the client loved it. But like I look forward to the days like where I can give Mia her own little camera.
Yeah.
And like, while she's probably not going to get anything super spectacular, right? And you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, she might.
Yeah.
Like, I just look forward to having her with me and like getting to see what I'm doing, and learn that side of the business too.
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely. No, that's great. I think, I do want to get to a place, being able to run a plant, instilling, that opportunity for a role down the road for my kids, excites me. I also think, if we continue on this trajectory and, things really really work out, I'd be able to provide my kids with a lot of the things that, I wasn't able to experience as kids as well, which, I mean, my parents did awesome. Like I had an incredible life. But, needless to say, there was 8 of us, and so they couldn't take yearly trips to Disney with 8 kids. But
dude, who wants to go to Disney yearly anyways?
Dude, I 100% do, and I am not going to even deny that. I am a Disney dad to boot. I think I was more excited to see Tinkerbell fly from the giant castle than the kids were. I was so excited. That was so cool. Where dreams come to life, man. Anyway, but being able to instill like that, that kind of life, for my kids, it's exciting, down the road. Yeah. So
nice.
But yeah.
Cool. Well, that's our time.
That is our time.
We've got a minute left.
Got a minute left.
So you want to do it tonight?
Oh, yeah. So if you like this video, if I mess this up, please tell me. All right. If you like this video, make sure to like it, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it. If you were moved by Zach's sandals that Chakas that
honestly
Emma hates so much.
That's gotten the most comments out of any video.
The Chakas.
The Chacos shorts. So.
Chacos. I like it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Chaco taco.
Yeah, there you go. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Chug.